those golden coin, those little chocolate. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those little chocolate coins. Show a picture of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A little something like that. Chocolate. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those little chocolate coins. Show a picture of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A little something like that, dude. It's 25 cents at a freaking grocery store, man. Just pick it up. Just be like, hey, I got you real leprechaun gold. That's all you gotta say. There's 6, 7. Just tell them I thought we weren't doing presents anymore. NTA. That's what the top comment here says. I agree with that approach. Oh, I thought you guys didn't believe in birthday gift exchanges. Also, no, you don't punish kids for adult problems, but honestly, these kids probably have enough gifts and toys. They aren't being harmed in any way. Do kids really care? I mean, I guess they care if that's like the expectation, like if it's always being expected, you know what I mean? Like, for example, if you have gotten like a check in the mail or like, $20 from your grandma every year, you do mental math and you're like, well, grandma's probably gonna give me $20. I could contribute that towards my like video game fund. Video games worth $90. You don't punish kids for adult problems. Ask him what's the dang problem then, because for years now you have no clue. I would just tell him you were fine. How about this? I'm getting a lot of this in Reddit stories. I'm getting a lot of this. Instead of retaliating with action, which I'm gonna call a snipe. Instead of sniping, have we ever considered a conversation? Have we ever considered communicating our issues? It's fine when they do it, but wrong when you do it. F that. Again, why is there an expectation that you are giving gifts but they don't give gifts? There's a lot of stuff we're not going to say here. A lot of stuff we're not going to I've been called an a-hole several times over this and finally decided to pull a large group about it. Where I live, there's a local mom and pop drive-in restaurant that's been family run for about 7 years. They open every single day. They open until hot dogs, onion rings, french fries, and a variety of different ice cream cones, sundaes, and milkshakes. I have heard all my life. Definitely moves faster. Okay, so they're thinking Do they go to this spot to quickly grab something in order to let me ask a follow-up question? Like you're on your way to a Specifically, let us quickly grab some ice cream. We are on our way to ice diagram, like 3, 4, 5 circles, and you get that little nugget in the center. That's beautiful bit of information to have about yourself. Not a lot of people get to really look at the mirror of truth and make a choice. That opportunity where you have multiple parties saying similar things about you. Listen up, because you're going to learn something about yourself. Let's see what Op replied here. Op said, I've wondered the same thing over the years, but what are the odds of so many people hating this? But I promise I'll back my brain for anything that can make it more annoying that I find out and I'm kind of empty. You know what you might be doing, dude? You might, because this is what I was doing earlier with my life. You might one fry at a time, dip it in whatever, and go, oh! Dip another fry. And you do that 500 times. That's what's happening. How do you chew? Do you chew with your mouth open? Because that could be a thing. You might be, you know what I'm saying? The place is always full of bees and wasps, but that's both lines. And besides, they take their food and wait for me in the car while I dodge the wasps alone. Oh, so they're in that. Well, they just want to bond with you then. They just want to hang out. You know what this might just be? It might just be sheer otherness. Sheer tribalism at play, aristocentrism. It's just the sheer fact that you are, for 10 minutes, always unique. And by unique, I mean getting fried, dude. Who cares? Not a big deal, right? The bees and the wasps thing. Yeah, that would freak me. That would annoy me a lot. That would annoy me, especially if there was like an allergy to bees or wasps or something like that. I'd be really annoyed. But there's an on-site washroom that's decently taken care of. I'm making someone hold their business. The wait staff will even car hop your order to your car window if you turn on your headlights, so there's no extra inconvenience or anything. Where is this? Hot dog. Though lines are less than 10 feet apart, truly the time differential is the only thing I can think of. As a kid, like a I understand. My fries become less expensive compared to prices, so I really don't know. It just seems like it's just the way. I asked a few of them why, and they said something along the lines of that it's rude to go against an otherwise unanimous group if it lengthens the void. But where? You know? Are y'all in a rush? That could be the voyage to where? My kids say right now, I don't know, take a lactate. Or if they're saying we're going for ice cream, right? I would just be like, y'all cool with me get fries? Because then they can expect it. That's it. Don't make up your mind there. Even though you totally should. Would I be an asshole if I told my husband his boundaries out the window when we had our son? And I have been together for 2.5 years. We had our son in January. Happy New Year. Things have been pretty great, but this has me feeling kind of ... Brad is diagnosed with autism and ADHD, which can make communication less challenging at times. But we do our best. We live in Europe, not US. Okay? Since Brad has ADHD, he only works at 50%. He has to apply for more. It is stressful as we wait for him to hopefully get on a permanent coverage. Since this is so up in the air, instead of me taking a full year of mat leave, he took the majority of the days in case his temporary health insurance is denied for some reason. Work schedule at 50% and still get paid on the same off. I'm trying to understand what you're doing. ADHD, I don't know, the combined type, does that enhance this at all? I don't know. I guess we're very question mark? What? I don't know. I'm trying to think about how I feel about this so far. He's not, you know, being a new parent, this is what you do, is sometimes you lose sleep. And I think he should consider alternatives. Maybe that is adding an app as soon as he gets home from work to account for this difference. Something could be on the schedule for him to adapt to. That's what I think. I said, well, hopefully he's staying asleep. If not, you will just have to take care of him or put him on his playmat and entertain him. I resolutely said, bedtime is 11 o'clock and I will go to bed. 11 o'clock p.m., baby is in bed, and Brad is just getting because this woman is pointing out that he has ADHD. Does that mean she is autistic or no? Because if she's not, then they have that difference of, you know, just make it different from each other. So, I don't know. I think the boundary thing, is that something he's doing in the therapy suite, or is that something that you guys have talked about in a therapy setting? You know, because boundary is a very therapy word. Or is it something that he has sort of created the bedtime boundary? But when you're a new parent, though, it is expected that you rise to the occasion because both of you are more boundaries with his sleep. I wouldn't say that, but I would say the general expectation. We are in this together. But some parents will be like, is it your night or is it my night? It's your night, right? So one person gets to be in bed, they hear a cry, it's my night, I got it. And then the next night, you take shifts, you take turns, so you're not constantly both exhausted all the time and working all the time. Like there's yin and yang, there's you seesaw responsibility. But she's working also. The wife, the mother, is working also. Both of you are working, and it is only up to the husband to take care after 11 p.m. It's a little, I don't know if boundaries are important there. It's a sacrifice that you oppose to be able to make. I'm just something from ADHD. Not the asshole. I'm also ADHD and have a 7-month-old, 6-year-old. Okay, so 7 months. When I'm able to sleep, then all I want is to wake up and to wake me feel like crap. But I suck at the ass because the baby he wakes up often and wants to be asleep. Do I want to do it? No. I have to do it though. ADHD is no excuse to get out of responsibilities. It's okay to struggle with the challenges of being a parent. You have a new responsibility. You chose to have to do it. That's what you gotta do, man. When you have kids, everything changes. I have 2 cats. Same thing. And here to tell your mother-in-law my sister and her husband live across the country and decided they want to come visit. I live 2 doors, 1 bathroom, and I set up a bed in the home office because they wanted to stay at my house. They had been here for 4 days. The bathroom has been a big problem. He spends hours. She says he has a condition where I get it. I understand this fear because personally, dude, when I had an office space rental, renting office space to film stuff out of, they only had 1 bathroom stall for them in the whole building. That freaked me out. Do you know the solution for this? Do you know that? I'm going to tell you the solution for this. The solution is to look your coworkers in the eye and go, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to destroy that. So if I were you, I would go in there for the next 10 minutes. If you say that, if you get up and go to the bathroom, you're free. You're good. Because if anybody else goes in there, you don't know them. You don't have to see them every day. Hey, I'm going to go tear up that bathroom. Huh? All right, see you in a bit. And then get up and go. On day 3, it was even worse. There was a time where I had to excuse myself to go to the store so I could use the bathroom twice. This is a weird This is so scary. I get it. I still try so hard. It's a lot better now. With that said, if this YouTube thing doesn't work out and I have to downsize, it is a non-negotiable that I have 2 bathrooms. Non-negotiable. If that means I need 3 roommates to do it, then I have 2 bathrooms. Or at the very least, a public bathroom nearby, like at home, a Starbucks. Multiple hours at a time? That's strange. That's just different. That's different. It's a different expectation. I have IBS. Okay, that's up. I have IBS and sometimes need the bathroom a lot, and that's why I always get a hotel or only stay at someone's house if there is more than one bathroom. But unless it's impossible, I get a hotel. This is me. This is me. Did I write this in blackout? If you're in the bathroom for literal hours without being able to leave, you need a better doctor. Not only is that not healthy, but sitting on the toilet that long can be dangerous. Speaking as someone with chronic diseases who needs the bathroom often, there's needing the room often, and then there's camping. He's camping. I bet he brings his phone in with him. I'm curious as to if he has an actual diagnosis or if this is just how he escapes responsibilities. I don't think he'd be escaping responsibilities at 4 a.m. I think he's got something. He might have like I think he's got something going on. You know what I will say though, sidebar from this? You ever met somebody who can do a number 2 in like 60 seconds? I feel like, oh, gotta go. And then they go to the bathroom and they come back 60 seconds later. They wash their hands. They look bright as sunshine. I'm so envious of those people, dude. Like, damn, that took you 2 seconds. How are you doing? Did it teleport from your body into the toilet? Yeah, congrats on having a good diet, I guess. NTA, how old are these two? Taking over one bathroom for 3 people for hours each day will be okay. Is he actually suffering with condition or does he have home, but I do as well. I don't want to do it alone. My process, I won't be in there for anywhere near that long. Has he made plans to stay elsewhere yet? What's the physical issue he has? Is he doing everything necessary to manage it the best he can? I don't know. My sister wouldn't say what condition it is, and I don't know what he's doing for it. I also don't know where they are, but they aren't at my house, and she won't respond. Okay. Something else might be going on. Does he have a problem in another room? on sale. He doesn't care what's on it. He acts as though he's never looked at it before. I ask if he's watching anything, if he's reading anything, working on anything, sort of am curiously drawn to, and then try to get to know them, and it's nothing I need to be a part of. That is so true. The disillusionment that occurs when you run into it sucks. When you have this opinion of your brother, I will say, people who are rude this guy had with his quiet brother, but it is weird that his brother got to get away with having no personality for the entirety of his life. Couldn't be me. I was causing ruckuses since I was a boy. All right, let's move on. Sharded myself on stage as the lead of my high school play. Wow, we are starting off pretty strong here. Myself on stage during my high school production of Romeo and I was like a guard, Friar Lawrence. show must go on mentality is. I had to go perform. I'm not gonna for a thing. And before that happened, I went to the bathroom. I felt really nauseous, and something occurred. Okay, next story. A guy who lived with me used to sleepwalk. One night, I woke to something awful. About 7 years ago, I let a young guy move in with me because he was struggling. He told me he had known this guy before, so I one night, I woke up to turn the light in my room, walked into the For anything that was wrong or needed dry cleaning. 500 bucks. If you notice, I'm scratching myself. And startled. He weighs a lot. He weighs more than he should. He dug in his claws to my stomach and used it as a launching pad. And so now I have silicone scar tape on my stomach because he's done this a couple of times before. He's scratched me so many times on my stomach. Unintentionally. It's just because he doesn't know how to get off of me when he starts. It's really on me. Wells Fargo ATM, and there is $300 sitting in the cash dispenser. No one around, as if someone made a withdrawal and then forgot to take their money. I waited about 10 minutes to see if anyone came back, but no one did. You are a good person. A lot of people would not do that. Some people, maybe myself included, would look at it, would wait 5 minutes, looking around. But after that point, 5-10 minutes, I'd be like, hey, this must be one of those pay it forward moments. Mr. Beast must have been here and did this intentionally. I'm taking this. Thank you very much. I was with my 9-year-old son, who was excited and asked if we get to keep it. Okay, that does change things. I told him that the right thing to do is to return it. However, this was a Sunday, and we would have to wait until Monday. Good opportunity for a lesson, right? Kind of. I go in on Monday and explain to the manager what happened. They told me that no one had contacted them yet, but they will put it back in the bank, and if someone comes and asks, they will look at the balance at the end of the month or something like that. No pat on the back, just a simple thanks, and the bank absorbs the cash with no real outcome. Could have used that $300, but I guess it's an important lesson for my kid. Still, I don't know. There's a lot of cameras at ATMs. There's a lot of legally. I wonder if it's illegal. If there's just money sitting there in an ATM, is that illegal to take it? To wait 10 minutes and to just take it? I don't know. I don't know what the law is, because you found money. It's like finding money on the street. It's not illegal to take money you found on the sidewalk, right? But is it illegal if that money is in the ATM and nobody's around and nobody's been around for 10 minutes? In a court of law, would they get you for that? My guess is probably not. What the bank is going to do with that money is they're going to take that $300, they're going to put it into their accounts that earn interest, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. And they're going to earn interest on that money until somebody comes in and claims the $300. But the good news is you did leave a good example for your child. This was ultimately the right decision. But let's see what the comments say. This happened to me. I withdrew money at the ATM and it spit out the last few bucks when I left. Stupid me didn't count all the money. Bank actually contacted me. They have recordings and timestamps, etc., of the withdrawal, etc. You did a good job showing your kiddo the right thing to do. Yeah, I guess so. I guess, like, there's cameras freaking everywhere, dude, when it comes to ATMs. Everywhere, every single angle. And so, ultimately, you know, if they determine that you took that from somebody else, I don't know. I'm the opposite. I was depositing cash when the ATM glitched, swallowed my money, and froze. Dude, yo! When I used to be a balloon artist, I would deposit all of my cash tips into an ATM, into a Bank of America ATM. I'd have like $100 and like ones and fives and all that stuff. And I'd be carefully like putting in a few dollars at a time. I remember that being so exciting. And then clicking show balance, and I would have like $800 or something when I was in college, dude. Oh, I was so I felt so rich to have $800 in my checking account, depositing all that money from working a 4-hour shift at a Chili's making balloon animals for kids. What a weird life I had. Here's some pictures of me with balloon animals. $300 is a small price to pay to teach your kiddo to do the right thing. Okay, cool. People here are really happy. The bank will simply look at Sunday's withdrawals from the ATM and contact the account holder that attempted to get money or discover the ATM had a glitch. The key, it wasn't your money. You did the right thing. There's so many people out there watching this right now that would be like, I don't know, I would have taken it. Somebody would take that, though. That would be a loss by the bank due to faulty machinery. But you're on camera taking the money. So, is it theft? I really don't know. I once found a wallet with $10,000 in it. I was young and really considered keeping it, but I decided I would try and find the owner. I looked at the name on the ID, used a phone book, and found the name and the same address and called. The owner of the wallet confirmed that he lost his wallet. I drove to his house and gave him the wallet. He counted the money and asked why I hadn't kept it. I said it wasn't mine, I hadn't earned it, plus no one carries that much cash unless it's important. That's true. He said he was grateful. It was the down payment for a life-saving surgery for his daughter. He offered me a reward, but instead I gave him my number and said the reward I'd accept is an update on his daughter's surgery. He looked stunned. I got a call a week later, and he told me the surgery had been successful and his daughter was doing well. I could tell he was stressed out and would benefit from talking to me. I asked him some questions, and he opened up and told me a lot. We were on the phone for hours. His voice was calmer and he was more relaxed at the end of the call. We said our goodbyes, and about a month later, I got a call from him inviting me to a welcome home party for his daughter as she was being released from the hospital. I attended and met his daughter, her friends, and his family. He told me that the phone call before really helped him, and he was grateful. We've been friends for years. I am a pseudo-uncle to his daughter. I've been to every school play, graduation, and will be at her wedding. Oh my God! All from returning someone's wallet. Yo! What a crazy story. That is so sweet, dude. You got something worth so much more than 10K. Beautiful. You gained an extended family. That's priceless. Dark Angel says. That was a jump scare. That hurt my ears. I'm not going to lie to you. Sorry. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. This lesson to your son is worth way more than $300. Agree. Ultimately, 9-year-old boy watching, yeah, I'm on my best behavior. I want to be a positive role model. For sure. I was by myself. And I needed $300. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What would y'all do? Would you keep it? I know intellectually you think you wouldn't, but realistically, you got bills to pay. Rent is coming up. I don't know, $300. I don't know, man. I'm getting free internet, and I'm not going to tell whoever's paying for it. I moved into my current place over 2 years ago. The place was empty, but the old internet router was left. It couldn't have been a mistake. It was all by itself in the middle of the room, still plugged in. I assumed they left it there, as there it was, still connected, and the internet connection would stop working in a week or so after moving in. But it's still going strong, over 2 years later. My place was used as Airbnb before I bought it, so I presume that the previous owner perhaps have a few places they use as Airbnb, and this internet renewal just gets lumped in with all the other ones. Who knows? Not me. And I'm not going to find out. Could be worse. Could be worse things in the world. People are worried about data security in the comments here, but let's see what this edit says. I'm not worried about data security. It's a standard home broadband connection. If they were IT literate, they would have something a bit more fancy and would have changed from the standard SSID/password and changed the admin password, all of which were still set as the router was supplied. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is just like an Airbnb situation or some kind of they just forgot. They have so many properties, they just forgot. They're like, oh yeah, the AT&T bill. Yeah, it's $70. At that point, man, just be like, hey, that's a part of my rent. This is a part of my rent. Free internet with the rent that I pay for this place. Very good, huh? I think take the win on this one. Yes, of course, be careful with your data security, get a VPN situation or whatever you need to do. This is a less, shady way of like leeching off of your neighbor's Wi-Fi. When I was a kid, I saved up for 2 years to get this laptop. I saved up for 2 years of my life of making $7.50 a week so I could buy a Toshiba laptop, okay? And with that, my household did not have Wi-Fi. Or if it did, it didn't have good Wi-Fi. And so what I would do is I would take my laptop and pray, fingers crossed, that my neighbor's Wi-Fi would be on. And it was high speed. And it was terrific. The 14-year-old me got up to so many things on the internet with my neighbor's Wi-Fi. Isn't that just beautiful? Ultimately, all of these confessions are people who had the opportunity. In life, you are always presented these choices. Choices of, do I take advantage of this wonderful thing that is for me, or do I give it back? Do I report it to the authorities? Do I report to the authorities that there is free Wi-Fi at my building? The only thing that this person could have done, getting this free internet, free Wi-Fi, I don't know, call AT&T or call Spectrum or the provider, whoever that is, and be like, hey, I accidentally, I think you left something here. Ooh. But if the owner's not canceling it? No. My friend had this happen before, but she was the first person to live in the unit. She got internet for a short time and then canceled it because she couldn't afford it. They stopped billing her, but never actually turned the internet off. Ooh. That's a best case scenario, isn't it? Maybe that was a mistake on the company's part. Maybe nobody's paying for it. Maybe you're just getting free Wi-Fi because it's there. This happened to me. Small town internet company in the late 90s. Got 18 months of free internet until I moved to the West Coast. There I got 2 to 3 years of free internet from a bookstore about a mile away. Ooh, baby. I love free Wi-Fi. I love it. Oh, that reminds me when I was 14, dude. When I was 14, I was a scary looking kid. Here's a photo. I don't really have a good outro for this right now. I don't know. times. I'm done. Have to get ready for work. Try to have a good day. All right, so this guy is still saying decent stuff. Thanks for asking about my mom. Unbelievable. Tell your mom to call me. I'll ask her. That's really funny. Ha, why would I do that when I'm nothing but a big secret to yours? You've never met my mother. Now you are calling me a liar. A liar? About what? Thought I would let you know the pups and I are home. Thumbs up. And then he sends her back some photo of something. She says, good night, handsome. Probably afraid to call. Good night, sweetheart. Honestly, I'm a little worried. Oh, so he's not. Okay, so he's not trying to call her. Please don't be. Don't be worried. Your voice at night before I fall asleep, I look forward to. No pressure. I care about you a lot, but getting over 50 calls while I was resting felt overwhelming. It made me worried, like something was wrong. But it also made me feel like I wasn't allowed to disconnect or sleep. I want us to be able to talk openly and support each other, but we also need to have healthy boundaries. I agree 100%. I don't ever want you to feel uncomfortable with me. I care about you a lot as well. Oh, really? Oh, 80 calls? If you don't want to talk and just say goodnight like this, I understand. Sweet dreams, mi temoso, or whatever. Mi tesoro. I'm going to find out what mi tesoro means. It means my treasure. Okay. Sweet dreams, my treasure. I'm not trying to avoid talking, just the opposite. I do want to say goodnight and keep things warm between us, but I also think it's important we talk about what happened, even if it's uncomfortable. This guy, dude, emotional intelligence through the roof. It really affected me, and I don't want to ignore it just to keep the peace. I know you don't like talking about things like this before you lay your head down to rest. Tomorrow we can talk about it. I know you've had a long day and want to be considerate. Yes, let's talk tomorrow when we're both more rested. I think it'll be good for us both. Sleep well. Sleep with the angels, handsome. And then this horror movie
the
font.
moment you disappeared, we think you got taken by God. Yeah, you disappear, and like my brother is like, Rapture, mom. Like, oh, Mathieu, I used to be like that too every day. I'm still like that. And since I was a child, yeah, every time you disappear, I'm like, God is taking her away from me. Ben oui, Diane me l'a dit à 5 ans. J'étais jeune. Elle me dit de parler de ça. Ben, tu sais, elle nous parlait de beaucoup de choses horribles qui allaient arriver, puis de... Ouais.
I really miss you. Wish I could hold you and kiss you. Good morning, sweetheart. So they're still on good terms. This is absolutely from... If somebody sent me this, I would assume it is a ghost convention with unfinished... This is not Ghost Hunter's font, literally. Hold on, look at that. Look at that. That's like the same color palette and everything. That is so stupid. Yeah, 80 calls, not great. She talked about it, but 80 calls, that is like an obsessive amount. Like, 20 calls. 80 calls, and then saying you don't care about it. 80 times. Like, I don't know. I can see like an old couple, like in their 80s, 90s, you know, being about, oh, you tried calling me 80 times one night. You remember this? We heard. She's like, yeah, what's that one? You know, like something young dummies do when they're like 18, 19, you know. Manual.
Hein? Ah non, ok. I ate my... J'ai mangé mon clévaletine. Ben, j'étais en train de manger des bouts. Ouais, j'ai pas été faire caca aujourd'hui. Yeah, I don't know why I've been having so much.
Manual scan. Check for trackers near you right now that you are separated from their owner. Manual scan results are set near you. 2 Apple AirTags. There is a tape. There's like duct tape here under his ear. Yeah, and there's an AirTag. So she's tracking you. Oh my god. What are you, a detective? He says, I've been thinking things over and I don't feel like this relationship is real anymore. I'm trying to be honest with you about how I feel, and while I care about you and wish you the best, I need to step away from this for my own well-being. I'm not looking to argue or reopen this. I just want to be clear and respectful. She responded, heart over text? Really? I think I deserve much more than that. It went from today to breaking up with me over text. I hope whoever you met makes me happy. Certainly it's not me and my own behavior. Certainly you must have met another woman, because I'm perfect. There's nothing I can do that's wrong. And that's she's gonna go. Not down right here says get the police involved if it goes any farther. Says there's evidence of home. Since you're a man, they may try to downplay how you're feeling, saying you're more than capable of protecting yourself in this world. They may say she hasn't done anything criminal and it's not a crime to text/call that many times or leave you notes. Indeed, none of that is a crime, but this is clearly unhinged behavior and you have no way of knowing it will escalate. In the current state of the U.S., any mentally unwell person can get their hands on a gun. Life is deadly. Scenario. Tell your trusted loved ones what's going on. Someone like this may reach out to them to find information about you. Yeah, have we not also air tracking or Apple air tracking? It's so your AirPods. I get messages on my phone saying like you might be tracked or whatever, and it's because an AirPods. Or maybe I'm wrong. For them. Or maybe you look like a stalker and a weirdo. I feel like in the 5, those grand gestures don't work like they do. That card is there for the other woman she thinks you're seeing instead of her. Remember, she has bent herself into a pretzel, believing a whole other storyline at this point. She will not have yet accepted that 80 phone calls were enough for any sane person to take pause. Give her some credit. Pause is a freaking trip. She could be experiencing all sorts of hormonal turmoil, but this is not for you to solve. Some great advice already in the thread. Hey, if you thought you've been a weirdo in the past, take a look at that. That should make you feel better about any mistakes you've made in the past. Sometimes it's good to see other people make major mistakes, because then it eases your mind on the way that you were in the past. You know, just a little bit. Okay, let's do this one. Was this an overreaction about me ordering DoorDash while babysitting? Wanted to see what time you guys will be here since you said 8 o'clock earlier. Great. We are taking the 10:30 train, so we should be home at 11:30. All right, so babysitter thought people would be home at 8. They're going to be home at 11:30. That's 3.5 extra hours. Okay, no problem. See you at 11:30. Hey, our ring just showed someone at the door. Was something delivered? Yes, I didn't eat dinner, so I ordered DoorDash. Okay, we'll talk when we get home, but I'm really concerned that you would do that without asking first. I would never be okay with a stranger coming to the door while my kids are sleeping. I really wish you had asked me before doing that. Please check to make sure the storm door is locked and the chain is locked as well since you opened them. Okay, so they're paranoid that a delivery driver came? All right. You think a DoorDash, somebody working DoorDash or Uber Eats is about to, like, rob your house? Have you never had DoorDash or Uber Eats? I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I just hadn't eaten since lunch, and I thought you'd be done by 8, like you mentioned. I started getting a headache and really needed to eat something. I've ordered food before while babysitting, and it's never been a problem, so I didn't think it would be an issue. I left it at the door, and I waited until they were gone before I went out to grab it and locked all the doors the way they were when I came back in. Yeah, like a normal, sane person usually does. And at any point, a stranger can whether you deliver something or not. A complete stranger, a celebrity, somebody can go to your house when you're away. Why are you being so paranoid? I get that you were hungry, but it's more about the fact that someone came to my door without my knowledge, and you left them in the house alone while you grabbed it. Left the baby in the house alone while you opened the door and grabbed the baby. Huh? What do you think the better move is? Would you rather had grabbed the baby and walked outside with the baby? Do you think that's safer? Wait a minute. If something had happened, it just makes me really nervous. Like what? You should have eaten from the kitchen. This is my home and my kids, and I need to be able to fully trust who's there. We will talk later. Just please double check the doors. Paranoid. Being a mom, I imagine your brain comes up with crazy scenarios all the time. That's the beauty of having a PFC, baby. That is a prefrontal cortex. That's the thing right here on your forehead. Okay, it's the frontal lobe. It is a simulating machine. It's the reason why us human beings are so advanced. We can think, we can simulate the future. And sometimes your prefrontal cortex misfires, or, well, not misfires, it's his job, but it's simulating disaster. So you got to overactive prefrontal cortex, trained by fear of losing your baby, and in that overactive prefrontal cortex, you are picturing a delivery person, such as a DoorDash driver coming to your house, seeing that, oh, this must be a babysitter, this must be a mom, they must be home, and as soon as they open the door, I'm gonna jump in there with the order, and I'm gonna steal the baby, and I'm gonna sell it on Facebook Marketplace for $50. I'm gonna haggle with somebody on Facebook Marketplace to meet them in the McDonald's parking lot to get $50 for me to fill my gas tank. Colt 45. Colt 45. Colt 45. Hold on. Yeah, the malt liquor. Yeah. I meant that. No, I don't think this person is overreacting. I will say that this person in green here, texting, is all the steps. They're being like, but him hearing, yeah, she ordered DoorDash and went outside. The baby, if she, God forbid, eat food. Mind you, this is someone who found me on Facebook, barely asked me anything before hiring me, and had no issue leaving her 2 kids under 2 years old. Total failure. Food delivery on the porch is now a big deal. Yeah, inconsistent behavior is wild to me. It's inconsistent belief. Something who's unpredictable. And this is my belief system about this thing, and then change their belief to show you that they're capable of other types of thinking. Those people are called hypocrites. They hired you on Facebook, minimal check-in, minimal asking you questions, and wanted you, a complete stranger, to take care of the children. This comment has 22,000 likes. It says, and not only did they fire me, they talked smack about me to the other clients, but I lost a couple of jobs because of it. I did not understand. I had a baby cam. Why would I need to be on the same floor as them? I now have my own kids, and I can't believe I went through that. I definitely put my kids to bed on other floors in my house and go about my business. People are nuts. I'm way too anxious about my siblings' kids when I'm babysitting, and my siblings are always like, chill out, the kids will be fine, and exploring is great, that's how they grow. And even in my anxious brain, I cannot imagine caring that the kids are asleep on a different floor. My sister always reminds me that if kids' parents are too anxious about these sort of things, they're going to instill this anxiety in their children. And that's running through my brain here. The kids of those people who fired you for going downstairs with the baby cam while the kids were sleeping upstairs are going to be messed up. Yeah, that's true. I think they did a study. I'm going to butcher this. But they did some kind of study where a mother was anxious and her heart rate was up and she was sweaty and all that kind of stuff. And then they had a mother who was calm, and then they measured the stress response of each baby. The one with the calm mother and the one with the anxious mother, and the babies had sympathetic stress responses. They were feeding off of the mother's emotions, and they were replicating that emotional state. And this is why I'm telling you, your environment is extremely, extremely important. And if you can control that in any way, or you can feel just a little bit more peaceful, then today to shed one burden. Do what you can to shed one burden. They are majorly overrated. Leave them alone while you got your food. I wouldn't babysit them. You need to trust the people in their house, and also know when they're funniest part is that she thinks every white woman with blonde hair is you whenever I use my phone. That was my next guess. What do you mean? You text a lot of white girls with blonde hair? No. I can be on YouTube and she'll say that's you. You literally live rent-free in her head. We got a man here taping another woman that she lives rent-free in his wife's head. So what I'm seeing here is this guy is trying to impress this woman by being like, yeah, you're irritating my old ball and chain. Good for you, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're really pissing her off. Yeah, you're pissing her off. Isn't that nice? Then stop texting me and upsetting her. I sent an Uber to pick up Chester. I don't know what it's about, but he did a little frowny face here. Okay, shout out to this woman. Then stop texting me and upsetting her. Yeah, okay, then leave me alone. This other person is at least giving him an out. Then stop doing it. It looks like he doesn't want to. Did you get home? Yeah, I just did. Oh, my wife was cock watching like crazy. Looked at my phone more than the effing movie. T, and then something here. T is also such a funny response, like, oh T, that's this girl's version of that's crazy. Why are you dude, people who complain about their spouse, about their partner, what's wrong with you? If you're with somebody and you make a habit to complain about your partner, especially to another woman, what are you doing? Just end it. If you're willing to complain to others about your significant other, you should not be in that relationship. Because complaining about your partner only looks bad. Not only is it obviously supremely disrespectful, you boil it all down, you distill it down, it makes you very unlikable because you are complaining about somebody that shows to be your partner. And yet, it's still there. Obviously, if you are in a domestic violence situation or you're in a more serious situation, sure, right? Seeking approval or support from a friend, that is a completely different situation. In this situation, you are, just because you are complaining about your spouse or your partner, all you are doing, my friend, is you are advocating for weak individuals who can't handle yourself. You're lame. This is you saying, hey, I'm lame, just so you know, hey, I'm lame. Okay, but when he calls you pretty, you're happy. But when I corporate is great. Okay, so you're throwing a very specific, you're talking about a very specific example of when you called her pretty, and then he did a little throw and go action. He threw, oh yeah, okay, I wish you reacted differently when I called you pretty. Anyway, corporate is crazy. He's doing a move. He wants her because you're married. What? I work in corporate. LMAO, you have a way better corporate job than most corporations, hybrid, good benefits, and you work for a DILF. Okay? Maybe I can bring my plants and some more clothes. I don't mind helping if it takes time. Maybe Thursday, okay? So help me move. I haven't decided I know that the person taking these pictures was livid because this is 2:51 so you're up at 2. Scrolling through these messages and so you've had your suspicions and you've been going through this man's phone for 40 minutes. My lady, looking for affirmation that this is no plan. Has he physically done something with her? It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's trying to do something, and it looks like he's being turned down, or at least suppressed. I don't think this girl is interested in him. She's hysterical to me. The guy's trying his very best to get her pregnant. And she's like, then stop texting me to upset her. Let's read their sad story. Let's read. Hi, I'm coming on here because maybe I'm stupid. Reality check all around. Need to hear it differently. My fiance, who likes to call me wife, and we have a young kid, is overly generous and always gifting food or drinks to his staff. Oh, he works in a restaurant. He annoys me with this because his friends are always using paying for things. He's part of management now. He keeps contacting me regularly. It'll be another coworker moving, or there will be another coworker with him. That's what it is. I asked what was going on with her. His phone. But when I checked his phone later on, I didn't see who he mentioned going, and someone else wasn't going to help after all. So it's just him. What makes me more concerned is the girl likes to talk about the men she works with as guilds at her second job, and he's excited over it. He's already crossed the line before this job, and I thought we were past this since we had a conversation. In what way? What way? But he's fooling around again, and I'm thinking of leaving with our child for good because I think some people already know if this is crazy. I've been too nice and being too disrespectful. I also think he has people and other managers who will come right for him and back him up. But I want to see him get consequences, so I'm not sure he comes back for the heck of it. He's obviously being freaking weird. Super disrespectful towards you directly. Meaning, just on its own. God, I hate that. That's so weird. Is that a fun thing to do? Talk negatively about your dog? Why is it so cool? Not only is it like you're trying to cheat, but you're also bullying your partner without their knowledge of it. For them to discover later, the mother of your child. I hate it. Folks, real quick, a little bit of oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's my favorite. Ah, I feel it's a little stuffy. Oh, look at the fluffy ears, dude. Fluffy ears. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just want to hug it. I just want to go over it. In all of these circumstances, no, these people were not overreacting. If you ever feel like you are complaining more than normal, or if you're catching yourself complaining, Sucks that you have to do that. Unfortunately, you have to do that. She's not respecting your boundaries. Yikes! Today, my wife is visibly upset. I asked her what's wrong, and she said the thought some of these raw feelings are incorrect. For example, if this guy said some stuff about his wife that was false, he's saying it out of emotion, he's saying it out of, pent up whatever's going on. He could just be putting it all out there. Like, it's for y'all to, it's like, I'm sick, I'm I don't know. I'm up chucking all my feelings, and let's sort through this. So bad. If you're in a relationship like that, I'm so sorry. I know what that looks like. It's awful. I'm sorry. That's tragic. It's tragic. Therapy is supposed to be a private, relieving process. When my husband is in therapy, I do everything I humanly can to avoid listening. She could have walked away, definitely in TI. She knew it was a personal call, and instead of putting on headphones, turning up the TV, or going for a walk, or one of many, many different choices, she listened and carefully. I wouldn't trust someone like that. I bet you anything she throws it in your face at some point, if not already. Oh yeah, that's true. Using that, taking that stuff, and storing it for later is borderline emotional abuse. I'm not gonna lie, that's not bueno, that's not good. Now, if you said something in therapy like, hey, I kill my wife because she's an alien from outer space, okay? If you said some stuff like that, I could see her being a little concerned. Like if she got a glimpse in the other room of like, I'm going to kill her. And then I also she tried to poison me last night. And murder. No, if it was something like that, sure, I could see that be a little bit of, if you're just being like, oh, she always nags me, or whatever, thing you could say in therapy, this is not good. This is not bueno. Yeah, you gotta set a boundary down and let her know how important that is. Okay. Should I move to Alaska without my boyfriend to get back together? I would say yes. I don't even know what it is. The fact that you want to get back together, man. I like it. That is a great question. I love the question. I love that you're getting very to Hollywood to a coffee shop just so I could keep my job. So after this guy, because I was about 26, 25 or 26 at the time. I was carrying a lot of responsibility in the relationship, financially and otherwise. Mistakes, dude. Oh, man, come on, you got to get your stuff together, man. He's got to get his stuff together. My mom lives in a very remote part of Alaska. Dylan, wait, what? Oh, your boyfriend lives in Okay, so your mom has two houses. Your mom has one house in Alaska, and your mom has a house in South Carolina. You and your boyfriend live in a house. Sam's the mother in South Carolina. My mom lives in a very remote part of Alaska, Dylan, and called me tonight offering us a great opportunity. Jobs up there pay really well, and the cost of living is offset by the benefits of isolation. Basically, up there to allow me to save a ton of money and come back to the lower 48 and buy land or a house in cash. Dang, y'all want to move to Alaska? I'm browsing Alaskan homes on Zillow right now. Let's see. Dude, do you get all that yardage? Holy cow. 3 bedroom bath, couple bedrooms, washer dryer, camo hats here. You're losing me. Look at all that yard. Oh my gosh, look at that backyard. You got a garden? Oh, okay. And so let's say you got a job out there, you're able to save money. I don't know, maybe. It's very interesting. I will say. Let's continue. I was really excited until my boyfriend about it. His response was, I don't know. And he just kept playing his guitar. I let him know I'm seriously thinking about going, and his only response was, okay, well, I'm probably not going to go. My man's here he's paralyzed. He's paralyzed with fear. He worries about his life fading away. He's having what I call a quarter life crisis. This is what's going on. This is my opinion. It's not real. I'm a guy on the internet. When I was 24, 25, I had a bit of a quarter life crisis. All right? I had a bit of like, God, what should I be? Where should I go? Should I go back to school and do something else? Should I become a nurse like everybody in my family? Should I, what do I do? It's very common. And you are presenting this guy with an opportunity that means he has to mentally go, okay, is this, you guys moving to Alaska together to save money up to buy a house equals, he's got to go, am I ready to commit to this woman and her family for life? Like you're moving across the country out of your comfort zone, your friends are away, all this stuff, rebuilding over and over again. This is like wife stuff, kind of. Husband, wife stuff, kind of. It's sad. He's alone in his head, in his heart, in his mind. He doesn't know what to do. Because he probably loves you. He probably loves this woman writing this, and you guys have been extremely supportive. You're letting him live in your place rent-free. You have a whole option. This is a critical moment for him. He must defecate or get off the pot. Everybody understand what I'm saying? And you got to make a choice, and you got to make the right one. Here's the best outcome, worst outcome. Best outcome, this is a wake-up call he needs. He's like, you know what? Yeah, screw it. Let's go. I'll move with you to Alaska. Let's make some money. I love you. / let's get married. I will say, this expectation is like, yeah, let's get married. But his response was, okay, well, I'm probably not going to go. He's holding you back. This is somebody from hell, from Hades, grabbing that leg and trying to pull you down. Leave the man behind. Here's the thing. I'm very independent and I love to travel. I've been to almost every state, and while he's never left the Carolinas, oh, he's a real Southern boy. Okay. He doesn't fly, and he has never really shown ambition when it comes to money or life planning. Then why are you with him? Is he hot? I get it. If somebody's hot, it makes you think a little different. I understand, but nobody is that hot in life to where they can stifle your dreams. Nobody's that hot. Nobody. You understand what I'm saying to you right now? No, don't let somebody be that hot. That does not exist. We've been together for almost 2 years, and I've never seen him save money or take real financial responsibility. So here's what I'm wondering. Is this life giving me an out? Should I go to Alaska, set myself up, and stop waiting around for someone who won't grow up or grow with me? This is correct. You're posting on here, you're looking for support. You got it, babe. Would love any advice or personal experiences, especially if you've been in a similar spot. Thank you. And then the edit here says, just to add, I've been to Alaska multiple times, both summer and winter, so I do have a pretty realistic idea of what life there is like. I even spent a full summer working in McCarthy and absolutely loved it. So you'd like Alaska. The only reason I moved back was because it was a seasonal job and I had full-time teaching position lined up back home in South Carolina. I'm not going into this blindly. I'm aware of the cost of living, weather, and conditions. Okay, cool. So it seems like people in the comments here are like, you sure you want to live in Alaska? You sure? Alaska ain't what you think it is. Yeah, no, you gotta leave this guy behind. I think it's obvious, right? Let's see what people say. Take it. You also need to get your mom to evict your soon-to-be ex-boyfriend. He won't leave that house because he has a free ride. Don't leave until he's out. Oh, so they're worried about a squatter situation. I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? This, break up and kick him out ASAP, and then after you have new tenants in the property and settled. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, then that could be a little income property. Yes, make that an income property. Rent it out. I don't know. I've never really fully understood squatters' rights. I think the thing is to just not evict a person like overnight, you know, but I don't know what the rule is. I don't know what that is. Boyfriend can't keep a job because he can't set an alarm, go, but leave useless BF behind. He'll just continue to freeload off you like he's doing now. There's a lot of lames in life, dude. There's a lot of lamos out there. It's tough when you have ambition and when you're with somebody who doesn't, or when you're with somebody who stifles ambition just by being around them. For those of you watching right now, I hope in a position where you're either single or you're with a partner who supports your dreams, you know, somebody who's ready to ride with you. Yeah, dump his ass, dude. Next one, AITA for poking fun at my cousin's divorce after she insulted my wedding. I'm gonna say nope, just from the title, but let's see. I got married at 20. My husband and I were young, desperately in love, and super broke. That's how they used to do it back in the day. I was never one to want a big wedding, so we kept it small. I will admit my cousin helped a ton with the decorations. I'm not one to be super into that stuff. I was fine with it just looking a little plain, but she wanted to make the day special for me, and I appreciated it. I sang her praises the entire day, paid her for helping me after the fact, and literally made a speech at the day of the wedding how grateful I was for her. I should also note that she got married a few months before me in an extremely lavish, extremely expensive wedding. Her wedding day was actually perfect, and everyone still talks about it. However, she got divorced about 4 years ago. Okay, you outlasted your cuz. I'm unsure what has caused this, but now anytime we're together, she makes fun of my wedding. She mocks how small it was. She mocks how corny the venue was. She insults my bridesmaids and my husband's family and how useless they were the day of. I normally don't react because honestly, I don't care about her opinion. Let me stop there. People, generally speaking, want to feel important in some capacity, and this is how your cousin wants to feel important. She helped you with the decorations. Her marriage failed. And, so now, instead of her looking at those feelings and really dealing with that, she's taking that frustration with marriage in general, she's projecting it onto you and your cheaper wedding. But you were young, and you were broke, and that's romance, baby! Started from the bottom, now we're here! As that one guy said, I forgot his name. I hope he's doing okay now. Whoever it is. But this is one of those situations where you got somebody projecting their negativeness onto you. It's an illness. Negativeness is an illness. It's contagious. Trying to cough in your open mouth. However, today we are at a large Father's Day gathering with all of my family. From the second she saw me, she started ragging on my wedding to her new boyfriend. Okay, so she got a new man. I'm not sure, but something in my brain just flipped, and I said back to her, well, at least I'm still married. Yeah. If that came out of the blue, and you never once communicated to her that, hey, you gotta knock that off, this might have been an internal battle you were fighting, right? Man, she just gotta knock that off. Of course she knows how much that bothers me. Maybe she doesn't know. Some people's sense of humor is bad, is not good, okay? And they think teasing or ragging on somebody is a term of endearment because nobody's told them any better. I used to be that way. I used to think that stuff was funny. It's not funny, punching down in a way. And if nobody's ever told them that, if nobody's ever called them out on it or made them self-reflect, you just kind of sniped them from a rooftop. Correctly, I will say, it's delicate, isn't it? This is a delicate situation, a very unique situation. You met her where she's been meeting you. Yes. Some could say stooped to her level, maybe. You hit a sore spot, for sure. Okay? Was it deserved? Yes. But you skipped a step. The next step was gently asking her, hey, can you knock that off? You skipped the warning shot, you went straight to sniping from a rooftop. Everyone in my family is upset with me. They said I went below the belt with that comment, but absolutely no one has ever checked her for insulting me over and over and over and over. AITA. Okay, well, you're really frustrated. She has been insulting you over and over and over again, swamp biatch. People have been insulting you, and you shouldn't have to take that. You teach people how to treat you, right? You're gonna learn today. My opinion, you skipped a step. Are you the a-hole? You were one, but I don't know if you were the a-hole. Everyone sucks here is my thinking. Let's see. Not the a-hole. You can only be pushed so far until you react. She's clearly jealous of the success of your marriage and has resorted to insulting your wedding to cope with her feelings. Pathetic. Stick to your guns. A reply to that says, every time she brings it up again, reply to say, seriously, cuz? It's been 9 years of you nagging on our wedding. Grow up and move on, or try to bully someone else. Maybe if she worked as hard on the marriage rather than her perfect day, she'd still be married. Yeah. It's that conversation. This is crucial, right? Seriously, it's been 9 years of this and you need to move on or bully someone else. I'm done listening to this. It's easier said than done, but this prevents you from taking, sniping on the road. Again, it's tough. I think the big thing here is, if you let, just for everybody, if you let things slide over and over again, people will slip in that slippery slope, and then they'll start, like, fighting in the mud and slinging mud and all that stuff. You got to catch it early. This type of behavior, you got to catch it early so it doesn't progress and become a habit. Habits. Habitually whining about somebody, habitually complaining about somebody. God, my cousin's wedding was so cheap. Get a load of this guy, right? A cheap wedding, haha. Trash. Am I the asshole for saying that my brother-in-law and his future wife can't sleep in our bedroom while we host them on their honeymoon? So you don't want to give up your master bedroom while you're hosting them? That makes sense. I and my husband are fortunate enough to live in an area of the world that is very beautiful, and as a result, frequently visited for honeymoons. Just say you live in Hawaii. Just say you live in Hawaii. That's fine. You're in Maui. Let's pretend. Let's all pretend. Let me give you a visual. Let me give you a visual of a house in Maui. Let's say they live in something like this, like a little house, kind of close to the beach, something like that, right? My brother-in-law and his soon-to-be wife are getting married in August and want a honeymoon in the area where my husband and I live. And asked around a month ago if they could stay with us on their honeymoon. We agreed. They are family and are also tight on funds. We are happy to help and host them. I'll tell you what, though, it's weird hosting somebody honeymooning because there's going to be a lot of going on. Okay, let's just say that. Gonna be a lot of ocean in the ocean in Maui, you know what I'm saying? And you're hosting people to do them activities at your place, because that's what the honeymooning is all about. It's all about doing that thing. Not all about it. I'm being a little old-fashioned, I guess, in saying that. Maybe it's just immediately perpetuated stereotype. But yeah, isn't that kind of what it is? We have a 2-bedroom home, and our guest room has an air mattress that is used for when friends and family stay. Otherwise, it is my work-from-home office, hence we don't have a typical mattress in there. My brother-in-law didn't really get into the specifics of why he wanted the guest bedroom / air mattress, but it just seemed to be, we think an air mattress is honeymoon appropriate. Y'all are trying to really get it. Is that what it is, or you just don't want to sleep in an air mattress? This is one of them beggars can't be choosers situations. I lifted my hand up there because I thought that would be text. Let's try again. This is one of those beggars can't be choosers. There's a typo in beggars. Can you fix that? This one's beggars can't be choosers situations. Why did you spell choosers like that? That doesn't make any sense. This is one of those beggars can't be choosers situations. Okay, let's just say the show. When my husband asked me about it, I was honest with him and said I wasn't comfortable with each other and his new wife sharing a bed on our honeymoon. Yeah, because they're trying to do the hokey-pokey. This ain't Airbnb. Apparently us saying no to this request has caused some issues in my husband's family. I think that's the change my mind on this. It honestly really grosses me out because I believe that the reason they want our bedroom is so they can comfortably bang during their honeymoon on a not air mattress. That's what they're trying to do, man. Yeah, we gotta inject more money into this situation. I think everything is a trade-off. You want the cheaper option? That's your trade-off. It's an air mattress. You don't want to spend any money on your honeymoon? This is the trade-off. You better do it on an air mattress. You gotta be ready to do it on an air mattress. Unless somebody wants to contribute a gift to the wedding, and that gift being stay at this resort. Way easier said than done. That's a lot of money we're talking about. It is their honeymoon, and they shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress. Remind sister and the rest of the family that no one, let alone you and your husband, are forcing them to sleep in your home. What happens to be an air mattress? Do you think that an air mattress is a considered getting a pet. What? So, okay. Well, here, let me say this then. In you getting a dog, this is you deciding for good that you're getting a man. I'm deciding we are moving on. I'm getting a dog, like broken up with the end. Do you owe him that? Is he ghosting you? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what time is passed, but whatever it is, it should be clear that you're done now. If you know that he's allergic, if he's highly allergic to pet dander, however, since he broke up with you, get you send your dog from the shelter that he's talk to me about everything the next day. I texted back asking what relationship. He didn't answer. Yesterday he showed up and told me he had examination and was ready to move forward. He wanted to talk about moving in together. Okay, so you did move together. Then he saw my dog and started freaking out. He asked me I told him that since he broke up with me, I didn't get mad at him. He said he didn't break up with me. I said he ghosted me. Someone that already broke up with me. Hey, he didn't break up with you. Clearly, he just put a pause on a relationship and ghosted you for. No, you're putting around. Draw the line in the sand. Say the words out loud. Cast the spell. I'm breaking up with you. You. Cast the damn spell because he needs to hear that, and you need to hear that. You all need clarity, boo-boo. And your boyfriend did this. Don't get me wrong. Your boyfriend absolutely 100% did this. But he is weak, and in a man's weakness, unfortunately, sorry, wrong. Cast the spell. Get his ass out of there. And you'll meet another man who doesn't ghost you for 6 weeks, thinking he can play with you like that. Like a chess piece on a board. No, if I break up with him, I'm basically agreeing with him that he didn't break up with me, and therefore I'm not getting the dog, right? You're playing politics. What is this? This is your ego now is involved. You want to know who's breaking up with who, and so you don't want to break up with them because then you'd be an a-hole. Screw all that.
Why is it
me for 6 weeks, and you weren't clear on what that means to me. I'm being clear for you. I'm breaking up with you. It's okay to be the person to draw the line and say, it's got to be you this time because this man is weak. I agree. You're not the asshole. You got to say the words. All right? That's my feeling. Not the a-hole. It's only a pause if both parties agree. Yes. A one-sided pause where the other is against it is impact of the breakup. But it still needs to be said, though, from somebody. If you still got to say it, somebody's got to say something. Which one of us is right? Do the semantics actually matter? 6 weeks of no contact and he just decides to magically show up again and he thinks you should have put him off your life just because he steps up? He does not have any right to decide communication, reappearance of the together. It's like I'm willing to bet good money that if you accept this behavior once, it will become reoccurring for the rest of your relationship and life. Nobody has time for that nonsense. And again, with the do the semantics actually matter of like, break up, blah, blah, blah. Not really, no, but the spell needs to be cast. been dating for a year. Hung up on stuff. I don't know. He just says that you might be incompatible because of your comfort. That's kind of what I'm getting here. But let's keep reading. I think the first time was understandable, but we run into him fairly often. We run into him often. How small is your town? Do you have like town? If so, I've voiced my discomfort about it several times, and she feels like it's unreasonable for me to ask her not to hug him when she sees him. She even told me I should be more friendly during the encounters. Okay. She ain't willing to give this dude up. You know what I mean? You've expressed that it makes you uncomfortable, and she's like, I don't care. Here's what's probably happening. She might be a little bit more like emotionally mature than you are. Most women are a little bit more emotionally like. And when I say that, I mean they're used to kind of navigating these social nuances better than guys are a lot of times. Okay, if you're a fella, look, I'm not. This isn't a dig on us. No, me, I feel like most of the time women are just better at navigating the minutia of relationships and stuff, and they're able to better compartmentalize these things. Men, it's tough for us. You know what I mean? It's like, girl, I've done it with. Oh my God! Like it's just like a different. I don't know. Maybe. But with that said, she is able to kind of compartmentalize that, and move past that, and that's it. And this guy, he feels good about it, and it makes sense. And it's because their brains are perceiving this thing completely differently. Like, I would just need a bunch of information. I would need to know if they dated. I would need to know, what does hooked up mean? Like, is he just some guy that's already, you know what I'm saying? What does that mean? I should also mention that this is a guy she once described me as someone I would be intimidated by, which she promptly apologized for, saying, the reason it rubs me wrong, am I the asshole for wanting her to stop fighting? What do you mean she described him as someone you would be intimidated by? Strength, looks, intelligence, career? So if she described him as somebody that you would be intimidated by, that means that she's expected you to have a visceral reaction to her. In this case, I feel like she knows what she's doing, and she's purposefully doing it, right? Because she said that. That's weird. Either way, you both have to come clear about what your values are. If you express that you feel like she's doing it, and that is just weird thing you're doing. See how she responds to that. It's all about the intention, right? But if she's prioritizing this random guy's comfort over yours, and she consistently does that, then that's not somebody you want to be in a relationship with. Yeah, but her saying that, someone you would be intimidated by, that's so weird. And then she's hugging him every time y'all run into each other. But what is the history? What is the history? I gotta know the history. I don't know the history. Here's what the comments say. Hug him and hold him. Assert dominance. Stroke his hair. And maintain eye contact. The power play here is, of course, to hug him also, given it's okay to do so. Let him realize that hugging your girlfriend means also hugging you. And give him that full body wiener to wiener hug. Really get in there. I mean, there is a good, hey, you know what? If you're doing this, I'm going to do that. There is an option to where you can do that. Maybe you need to start bringing around people. This is bad advice, actually. This is ironic. This is bad advice. But what if you messaged a couple girls you were down with, and you run into them at the coffee shop every once in a while? You know what I'm saying? Give them $20 here, $20 there, just to make a point. Be like, oh my God, Stephanie, come here, Stephanie. Oh my God, she used to blow my back out. Stephanie used to strap up and. Oh, Stephanie, give me a hug, Stephanie. Oh, is that lavender scent? Is that lavender perfume you use all the time? Oh, God. I used to reek of lavender, babe. I used to reek of lavender after Stephanie. Right around my special hole. I have a feeling a lot of that is going to be bleeped out. If she's a hugger and hugging all of her friends, then that could just be her personality. If she's only hugging this guy, then be proactive and hug him too. Their hug. And I think they'll get the message. Earlobe suckling aside. If she gets angry, then she's not respecting you, and maybe it's time to go your separate ways. Upon reflection, she is actually being disrespectful, as he has asked her to stop this behavior several times. It's not as innocent as I originally concluded, as I missed the part about this happening fairly frequently. Yeah, I mean, once you express that something your partner's doing is making you uncomfortable, they have to choose. They have to choose whether or not your discomfort is worth this behavior changing. And if you're with somebody, and they value hugging this guy they used to hook up with more than your discomfort in your 30s? You're in your 30s? I don't know, man. That's not a game I'd be playing. You're not the asshole, but I don't think she will respect your wish. Maybe optics reach out instead of the old hookups. That's what I'm saying. I hate to say this, but this guy is probably the dude she's got in the background. She doesn't want to him. And she's trying to send him a signal like, yeah, we can do to a wedding because it competes with the bride's dress? Question mark statement. I think that's what it is. Let's see. A few months ago, I attended a close friend's wedding with my husband. I wore a yellow like Belle in the beauty so yellow that I did not question if it was appropriate or not. And neither did I. How big of a rule is it that you should? Maybe it's bad juju, like bad luck. Were making it appear right. The member of the wedding party stated that if I didn't leave, she would make me. Okay. Who is the member of the wedding party? Is the member of the wedding party sent by the high priestess herself, the bride? Or is this person a champion of their own accord? You know, did this person decide to take it upon themselves? I stated, I'm here to celebrate my friend, repeated that the dress was yellow, and said, I will not be leaving early. Bride and groom haven't left yet. And I came from overseas? The conversation, while heated, did not have raised voices or other language from either side, but I will say it was tense. The wedding party member walked out and I talked to the groom, angrily pointing in my direction. The groom shrugged. It seems like the wedding, you know, they're getting married. They don't care. You better leave. I'm going to marry you. She was probably drunk. She was probably a little drunk. You know what I'm saying? So it's a sense of justice. It's like, you know, get a shot at tequila and suddenly you have a divine sense of justice. And you become Batman at that wedding. You show up, you're the Dark Knight. You must leave or I It's like, this is my wedding. Shut up. I don't care. Everybody's having a good time. Stop. You know, and people like to make a stink about stuff that's not a stink. People love that because otherwise they're bored. You know, you got your tequila brain going on, you're bored. How can I mess this up? Some people just got that switch. They just have it. I consider myself a relentless. You have fault, okay? You have all pointed that out in my videos with Eva. She's a bit more. Because I don't other people suck energy out of it. But there's the opposite of that, right? People who are always looking for a problem. That is a very real thing. This morning, I was approached by a different friend at breakfast, not in the wedding party, who stated that they heard what happened and that I should have laughed when asked because it made people uncomfortable, and that I made it about me partying rather than respecting wedding etiquette. I have felt incredibly embarrassed about the sense, so am I the asshole? the black light. I could see that being a thing. I could see that being a thing. I could see that being pointed at. I could see people talking about that. Would it make people uncomfortable? I don't know. How similar in style is this dress to the bride's dress? Also, the most controversial thing seems to be the black light dance party at this wedding. It was the last hour or so. Just to have fun. It was weird. It was tacky. My opinion is that if the dress was really close with the bride's dress, it's understandable that people would be curious about it. But to the point of keeping it out. Spoiler alert, Reddit person found it wrong. However, the asshole who checks their attire under the black lights to see if I understand that they were white under normal lights. Come on, this is an unusual situation. At the end of the reception, you were fine, and whoever approached you was completely blind, typical, nothing better to do than that's what I was talking about. I agree about passing out our black lights before you. That's something I even thought about. The design of the stuff like this, that's not sexy at all. Not the asshole. You're right. Sounds like the red thing was not the bride. The bride cared. The bride would have known. You might give the bride a call or something like that. She was offended. I mean, it's not like you're just white during that's what the bride group says. I was too scared to bring it up. I don't think you're the types to reach out and hang out. Okay, so they reached out to you, Sense. They were out to you, Sense. Yeah, dude. Seems like you got a little stinker. You got a little. My part is pressing a button. Using to switch my daughter to school. My daughter, she was always happy with her school. 10 years ago, when my son was her age, I switched to a private First of all, that's a gangster move. Second of all, everything that I'm saying right now, everything that I'm saying about like elite boarding schools are weird. I'm talking smack about it. I would actually because it's different. It's like if you know that you can everything in the world to better. Would you do it? I switched to an elite private school, not because I thought the education was better, but they follow the international curriculum based on the UK system. This is helpful when international universities do recognize the system. My son was studying abroad. At the time that my son was my daughter said she was happy not to switch to me and said it would be hard to make new friends. Okay, so she doesn't want to However, now since he started dating, she's gotten jealous and started reading his textbooks, especially his science ones, and going through things like yearbooks. She's now upset with me because I refused to switch her to the school, even though she herself at the time said she was happy where she was. What does that mean? Where is the detail where the daughter expressed she wanted to change schools? She's gotten jealous. Okay. Does that mean that she said, I want to go now? Is that what that means? She must have, right? She's now upset with me because I refused to switch her to the school, even though she herself at the time said she was happy where she was. Okay, all the time. While I can afford it, the education isn't any better, and I only sent my son there so that more universities recognize the credentials. Furthermore, the school environment would be quite different. She goes to a girls-only school, which is usually, but that's a private school too, isn't it? a theater kid. I was a geek. Okay, I was a sophomore in high school, and I went to compete for the International Thespian Society. You guys know ITS. You know, some of you in high schools in the United States have heard of this. I was at a normal high school my freshman year and part of my sophomore year until we competed at the county-wide level with dozens of other schools for acting, for drama. When I saw what the magnet school of that county was capable of, the fact that students over there were out writing and out directing, and everybody out acting, out singing. Everybody swept the competition way above and beyond anything any other student in any other school could do. When I saw that, I went, I have to go to that school. I have to. And I auditioned for that school. And I met to go to that new school on my 16th birthday. What I didn't know was that at my old school, they were throwing a birthday party for me. They threw a surprise birthday party. It was such a surprise. It wasn't fair. Party. My choir teacher and my drama teacher threw a birthday party for me at my old high school, and all of my friends. And that was a horrible time because all my friends were mad at me. But I made self-improvement like this, or giving somebody I don't love that. But let's see. I work at a restaurant as a server. One of my coworkers moved up here from Georgia for college and started working here a few months ago. She constantly lays on the southern charm thing. Honey, sweet, and all of that. She also tends to chit-chat with people instead of just letting them eat after bringing them their food and drinks. It's also kind of a lot of them don't really want to talk. They give you answers and she just barrels through it. Weeks ago, she was upset because a customer yelled at her and said, "Don't call me that," when she called her as many tips as the other servers. She says this because she has a southern accent. Customers think she's stupid. Southern? Where are you, New York or something? My coworkers moved from so like, let's say you're in yeah, dude, if I'm coming into New York, I'm a high-strung finance guy. Well, actually, I don't mind it, but so I can see some people really liking it, you know? They're busy, they're on something in their mind, and then you got somebody barreling through, and you're awkward answers because you're having a hard day, and you're starving. Yeah, I could see that being real taxing on your psyche. You know, not everybody likes the same thing. I'm reading this book right now called Unreasonable Hospitality, and there's a motto in there, which is one size fits one, meaning not one size fits all. Some people want to talk to you for a while, and you should be able to pick up on that, and some people don't. And as a server, the number one way to be great as a server is to be able to read people well, and it seems like this person is not reading people well, because otherwise a customer wouldn't have yelled at her and said, "Don't call me that," and the management wouldn't have told her off a bunch. She asked me for advice. Okay, so this is solicited. This is solicited advice, not unsolicited. Just go, "Hey, they might not no. She asked, and that changes things. She asked me for advice, and I said it's because she takes so long to bring things out and wastes time trying to make small talk. Dude, I would hate that. I would hate that. I'm happy to chat a little bit, and earlier I said I wouldn't mind it too much if it was like cordial and in the beginning. But if I'm like, sure, I'd love a coffee, and as soon as I say the name of the thing, I'm expecting it to come out. Honestly, pretty quickly. You're gabbing, you're chatting, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what do you want? I'd love a coffee. Oh, great, okay, how's your mom? Uh-oh, you're asking me personal questions about my life when I gave you a request. Now I'm a little on edge. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little on edge. I'm uncaffeinated. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry, and nobody else in this restaurant knows that I want this coffee but you. And so now that you know that I have this thing, I kind of have to sit here and please give me coffee. I also said that the excessive pet names sound kind of condescending. Okay, can I say something? I went to school in Georgia. I went to school in Georgia, Savannah College of Art and Design. Coming from Florida, which is a pretty rough and tumble place, and where I was from in Florida wasn't really the South, but people are tough in my part of Florida. And it's because it gets real hot, and everybody's confused all the time. Everybody's confused and frustrated. I don't know why. It's a populous town where I'm from, Florida, and so we go to Georgia, slower living, more southern over there. When he called me Bud, or Bud called Bud, or Buddy. He's like, "How you doing, Bud?" I'm like, I was truly offended because it felt condescending. But having lived in Georgia for 4 years, I now know it really is just like, "How's it going, buddy?" You know. I say that to kids now. I'm like, "Hey, buddy," I'll high five them. It's a nice thing. It's not a bad thing. Bud even is not condescending. "Where you going, bud?" "Oh man, I'm just going this way, that way, whatever." Like it's just but once upon a time, I thought that it was condescending to the point to where I had to bring it up. And again, if you have my coffee order and nobody else in the restaurant knows what I want to drink, and I'm sitting there and I have to smile at you while I'm starving, and my stomach is starting to eat itself up, and I'm going to like cut a hole into this table and chew on it to feel something. You're calling me buddy, and that instantly changed. I also said that the excessive sound kind of condescending, and they aren't really something you would call a stranger here, because Now she's mad and has avoided me. Maybe I could have been shallow when trying to explain why people complain about her, but I was also because it's Christmas season. So much is going on. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is a lack of attention. Maybe I could have been gentler when trying to explain what stress is. It tells me that you're probably very not gentle. My guess is probably fun. And rightly so, I guess. Rightly so. It's in Christmas season. Run. You're trying to get people to come to your shows on certain days, and also, you know, the Christmas rush. Most people, so I can totally see this being something that you maybe overcorrect. Even so, no, I don't know how you did it, but if management has had to tell her off more than once for this, what is that thing? If you put it out, out of me, regardless of where I am. They're giving strong auntie or grandma vibes. These vibes are somewhat gender neutral, but the best way I can explain it very quickly, un tends to be fine when it's used the same way you serve. If you are in the Northeast, especially New York or New England or Boston, dude, nightmare. She really needs to listen to you because, yeah, we hate small talk. Her tips are only going to get worse. Not the asshole she should listen to you, who actually knows how people are around wherever you are. You're just trying to help. Yeah, we're in Jersey and pretty close to you. Yeah, you're in Jersey. You're out there trying to serve.
Okay, hun. You want a coffee? What you want for breakfast now? Oh, you want a little side of grits and shrimp?
It's like, we don't have
I will make it for you special, my grandmother.
Give me that coffee now! Folks, I want to show you something really interesting right now. Take a look at this. Take a look at these names. This is the first time ever you're seeing a list of names from YouTube. YouTube can join that list. This list is going to be on my main channel as well as my second channel. And also you're going to see a behind-the-scenes video of me, a long-form behind-the-scenes video. Every single week. Per month. And eventually you'll see some bonus stories here from Reddit if you're interested in behind the scenes. In the meantime, Happy New Year. I'm so excited to hear from you.
Se faire dire quoi faire. This is the call of the surprise microphone.
I told my mother-in-law that's all on her.
That's all on you, mother-in-law.
My 5-year-old son's birthday is coming up, and he wants a chocolate cake with chocolate. A boy knows what he wants. That boy is. Was that? Am I?
She's suggesting to a 5-year-old that he should get something that everybody enjoy. Hey, guess what, mother-in-law? Boy, enjoy their birthday, getting something that they want while they're a child, so that way the harsh reality of life after childhood doesn't want his spirit. Let the boy have chocolate. I am the boy. My son said, it's not your birthday, so you don't get a say. This would normally be disrespectful, but recently I said this to my son when he went to his friend's party. When my son didn't like the cake flavor, we had a discussion about how the birthday person gets to choose their cake flavor because their special day. Mother-in-law was shocked, and I told her the same thing I told my son. When it's your birthday, you can get whatever flavor of cake you want. My mother-in-law called me a B-word. Yo, where's your husband or wife? Where is the kid of your mother-in-law? Where are they? I would never in a million years. Are you gonna let your mom call your spouse that? That's crazy. My mother-in-law called me a bitch, and my son a spoiled brat. So I told her, with that attitude, you won't be coming to the party. My husband was like, what the F? And tried talking into ordering his mom a cake she would enjoy after her son and I was rude to her. So your husband wanted you to get a special cake for his mom? Hey, husband, step in. Don't let your mom call your spouse the B-word, especially in front of your kid. I hope to God it's not. And calling your son a spoiled brat? Step in. I hate to say, a phrase like man up or whatever, but in this situation, hello? Come on, you gotta man up. And you know what? If we're gonna use that phrase at all, this is when protect your family, your immediate family from your mom. Great. Oh my God. I said no, it isn't her day, and that just teaches our son to act entitled at other people's parties if we don't stick to the rules and etiquette that we explained to him, and it will just make him confused and totally spoiled. Totally. 1000%. My husband saw the truth in that because our son was excited about his birthday cake for his birthday, and now understands that not everything about him, other people get to enjoy their special event how they want to. In return, my son gets to enjoy his special event and wishes how he wants to. Think about this for a second. What if mother-in-law was diabetic? Should the son not have cake at all? Worse, even worse. Should the son have sugar-free cake because mother-in-law is diabetic? Should the 5-year-old boy have to suffer through aspartame and stevia? Because, actually, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just know aspartame. But should the son have to suffer through stevia, fake sugar, that weird aftertaste, that weird like funk that aftertaste in the back of your tongue? Should he have to suffer through that because mother-in-law is diabetic? No. Mother-in-law didn't seem to get that, and once my son wrote a sorry note about something wrong, my husband and I don't feel like my son did anything wrong by repeating what his parents told him. You would be correct. My mother-in-law said she's not coming to the birthday party or getting him a gift without the apology. I told her, that's all on her. That's correct. Mama got a little lesson. This is stupid. This is silly. This is very silly. You're too old to be acting like that, dude. You know, I got a strong feeling about this. Oh God, this is crazy. never lean on a boy for a check. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw inculcated at home. He, often more than pulled his weight at home, was an engaged and present father and a genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the appearance of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is true. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Y'all get what you want then, because you're acting ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna feed me and my kids. Otherwise, you know, you have no say in how I live my life. Whatever. All right. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point, and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a